Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Thanks for coming and cooking with me, Andrea. Today we're going to be making ground beef enchiladas. I have about a pound of meat. I went ahead and put it in my pan. I'm going to turn my burner on low only because I want to concentrate on making the fresh enchilada sauce so that we can use it right now to make our enchiladas. It'll take about 15 minutes to cook after I assemble. That's when we'll go ahead and get all our other ingredients out, and then that's when we'll cook our hamburger and we'll be ready to go. So today with my beef enchiladas, I love making them from scratch because then I can control the spice, the flavors, and everything, even versus some of my favorite cans. Never talk bad about a can or a packet. It taught me how to season over the years. So basically we're going to get started here. We are going to take 3 tablespoons of oil. Boy, my pan is hot. It's in my face. Whew. 1, 2, 3, which is good. I'm going to turn my pan down just a little bit because my stove is very hot. Then what we're going to do is just mix it like that. I'm going to go ahead, put it on my heat, and then I have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to wait a second, and while I'm waiting, the pan's starting to get ready. We're going to take all together, we're going to take 1 tablespoon because it's going to be a spicy enchilada sauce. Not too bad though. And remember, if you're not into spice, then just don't add as much. We're doing a chili powder. This is a California chili, and it's a little bit more mild. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take my chipotle and top it off. Chipotle is smoky. It's beautiful. I love it. And chipotle is spicy. So that's why I say I'm going to have to go in here and I'm going to get my knife. We're just going to unstick it there. So what we're going to do is just pour more in. But boy, this chipotle, I love chipotle. But chipotle is warm and, whoo, but it has a beautiful smoke. So my oil is ready. My oil is hot. I'm going to grab my little whisk. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in. It's hot. It's okay though that it's hot. What I'm going to do is mix it around just like that. As long as you do not stop stirring, it will not hurt anything. One thing good about my enchilada mix here is you can put the chili in and start forming the chili as well. And I just put it all in there. So I do flour, chili, and my oil. Don't breathe it in like that. That is spicy, but it is delicious spicy. I know better. That's why you always put your fan on. But when I put my fan on, what's going to happen is it is going to make it noisy, and it's going to be harder for you guys to hear. So everything is incorporated now. I got everything incorporated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my stock. First, I'm going to take 2 cups of water. That's going to cool my pan off tremendously. Then, you could just stir like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I am going to put 2 tablespoons of my beef bullion. This is how I'm doing it. It's going to be my salt content. It's also going to be my beef flavor content. One thing nice about this is you do not always have to buy stock in a box. A lot cheaper to go buy this versus, you know, this versus the other ones. So what I'm doing is I got everything incorporated here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my seasonings. I have 1 tablespoon of cumin, And I have 1 teaspoon of oregano. And I also have 1 firmly packed tablespoon or teaspoon of fresh chopped garlic. You have to chop your garlic really fine, you guys, though, because you do not want to get a bite of the garlic. Now, if you like getting a bite of the garlic, you don't have to chop it as fine as I do. But boy, the garlic sure tastes wonderful in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put my tomato sauce in. And I'll list all my directions in the description box. Oh my gosh, the chili is so good. It smells so good. It is a, you want to take and cough. I got my whole family coughing because the spice. The spice is going to be wonderful though. The cumin is a good spice too. It makes it nice and rich and deep and earthy. But what I'm going to do is everything's actually incorporated. It's not that many ingredients. It's really inexpensive, to be honest, especially if you use stock bouillon versus broth bouillon, and tastes the same. Normally if I make a riso, I do use liquid bouillon, but I've not had liquid bouillon or stock, and I've had to use this. It tastes just as good. Right now, you know, I had gotten these on sale for about under $6, and that was a good price because, boy, this broth is really expensive. Sometimes, you know, around Thanksgiving or even other times, like here in Nevada, we had a hard time getting product over the mountain when it was snowing. So our broth, for regular broth, was like $3 a box, and that's expensive. Where I got this for under, I believe I got this under $5. I want to say $6, but I actually think I got it under $5. Okay, so this is, I'm going to make some room here so I can show you how my enchilada sauce is looking. It's looking great. Boy, I sure know how to make a mess. Good thing I don't mind cleaning up. Good Lord. You know, I love cooking. Cooking is like therapy to me. It is so relaxing. Some days I'll have a hard day, or some weeks I'll have a hard day, and boy, it feels so wonderful to just be able to step into my kitchen and just make our meal that night, or make prep meals for our week when we know we're going to be busy. Okay, this is what the sauce looks like. It's deep, it's dark, it's beautiful. Oh, it smells delicious. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. I'm going to turn it down to, I don't want it to keep boiling like this. Now I want it to just be a simmer. So now what I'm going to do is just turn it down and watch it. Okay, this burner, I'm going to turn back up to a medium high, because I want my ground beef to brown real well. And then what I'm going to do, as soon as I have the ground beef done, I'm going to come back and I'll have a pot of, or a pan of oil, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the tortillas and assemble the enchiladas. So we'll be back. Welcome back. I cooked up the ground beef. The sauce is ready. Just wanted to let you know, I went ahead and put it in my measuring cup. I put a little bit on my bottom of my enchilada pan. I have cheese out. I have a mixture of cheddar and Monterey Jack. Got some nice white corn tortillas. Like I said, I got my hamburger all cooked. Got my oil on. I'm going to warm my tortillas up in the oil, and then I'm going to roll them and place them here. Normally how I would do it is put it in the oil, put it in the enchilada sauce, if the enchilada sauce came from a can. But it didn't. I made it from scratch. So I put a little bit on the bottom, like I said, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pour it over with some more cheese on it, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. So we're going to start, just going to warm our tortilla up so that we can go ahead and make them as soft as possible so that they roll real well. So normally what I do, because I don't like burning my fingers, I'm kind of a crybaby, I take it out like that, and my oil needs to be a little bit hotter than that. I'm going to try another one. Yep, it's okay. We can start rolling. You know, I told you guys that I don't use any oil pretty much, except for in the enchilada sauce itself, except for when I'm doing the tortillas. That's when I do use a little bit of oil, but everything else, I don't need oil. Oh, I also wanted to tell you, I do not have to season my ground beef with seasoning, like taco seasoning or enchilada seasoning. I don't have to do that because my enchilada sauce is so flavorful, you do not need it. It's not really spicy. It's got a little kick to it. It's really delicious. I guarantee you, if you try making this enchilada sauce, it's fast, it's cheap, and it tastes delicious. This is going to be a inexpensive dinner. So what I do is I take and I just roll like that. Okay, grease is getting hotter. You want your grease hotter. So like that. So it's getting hot. But purpose of this is that my tortilla is soft enough for me to roll it without breaking it. So I'm going to scoop some more in. And I put a nice scoop, just to let you see. I put a nice scoop of ground beef in there. And I take a pinch of cheese. I roll, roll, flip. Just like that. I'm not going to use my beautiful towel for the oil. That's just when I have to wipe my hands, just because I need a hand wipe. With the greasy stuff, I'm going to use my old towels that I use. That's the only thing bad about enchiladas. It's messy. But boy, they sure are delicious. And like I said, really inexpensive dish because enchiladas really do not cost too much. I paid $3.40 for the pound of hamburger I got this morning. Cheese was not too bad. It cost me for a huge, probably 2 pounds of cheese, about $6, $7. And then to make the enchilada sauce, basically my can of tomato sauce, I already have all the other stuff on hand, so it really doesn't cost me too much. And then, you know how I always make fresh beans and rice? Well, I'm going to show you that I took some out, and we're going to have a nice dinner really super fast. So even though I'm spending a few minutes on enchiladas right now, one thing that's going to be beautiful is my beans and rice are already cooked. So I just cut, we're having a really delicious dinner, and I just cut my cooking time in half because I pre-made my beans, which is nice, and my rice as well. So today with our enchiladas, we're going to be having a black bean, and also we're going to be having a white, very flavorful rice. I'm going to grab another paper plate. I don't like to wash dishes, so I use paper plates like they're going out of style. But boy, I sure do love cooking. And if I have to wash a dish, I will, because I love cooking. So what I'm doing is, realistically, I'm putting these down. And I'm just letting them cook. The reason I do it this way, excuse me, is so that I can let the tortilla cool so I don't burn my fingers off. I like having fingerprints. I like having fingers. Some days I don't think I have fingers between the bleach water and the hot stuff that I use to cook. Most of us, we don't feel like we have fingers. So what I'm going to do is roll this one up. And we're just rolling. We're going to roll again. Like the stuff. He's overstuffed. But it's okay. He tastes the same. He tastes just as good stuffed or overstuffed. Even understuffed, he still tastes good. Okay. And it really doesn't take that long to get this done. It's actually a pretty fast process. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more meat on. And remember, I'll put the directions or the instructions in the direction box. Also, if you needed more, just double my recipe. Take the recipe I put online, just double it. Sometimes I double and triple it. Like on days when then I make big batches of enchilada sauce, I just triple or quadruple it so that I don't have to, because each one makes about a full 2 cups. That's why I said just double it. And you don't have to use as much oil as I do. This is just how I do them. That's how I was raised. So this is how I do mine. You can use a little bit less. I use canola oil, but you can use less. And just go until your hamburger runs out. Also, most of the time when I'm cooking for more than 3 of us, I use 2 pounds of hamburger. I do. I use 2 pounds. Okay. Good. I don't even need my extra tortilla, but I'll tell you a secret. If you take your tortilla and just do like this, never waste a tortilla. After you're done making your enchiladas, you're going to have just a teeny bit of sauce. I say you roll up a tortilla or put a little cheese in it, roll it up, and stick it in your sauce. Oh, delicious. Or this is when, if you want to make a few cheese enchiladas, with this enchilada sauce, with my enchilada sauce, I do like cheese enchiladas. Just tastes delicious to be able to have the sauce, the tortilla, and the cheese. So you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to slide these over, and I'm going to use all 3 of my tortillas, and I'm going to make cheese. Because me and my family, we love meat, but we also say that we eat too much meat. So sometimes we just try to eat things that don't have meat, like quesadillas with just no meat. We do it that way. Tastes just as good. Any extra meat, just put on the top like that, and you're good to go. Nothing is wasted. We're good. I'm going to take, and I am going to roll these tortillas up. Just put a healthy dose of cheese in there. Do it just like that. And these will be delicious. You're going to love them. Let's sneak this one in. Okay. So I want to show you what it looks like, because it really is that easy for you to do this yourself. It really is. And you're going to be so proud, and you're going to enjoy them so much more because you made them, and they actually really do taste delicious. So this is the way they look rolled before I put everything on them. Now what I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to go ahead and sauce them. Just going to try and drip it on there, and I'm probably going to use all my sauce, because usually when I take out sauce for enchiladas, I probably have 4 cups, because we love our enchiladas really sauced. But let me tell you, 2 is fine, because once I get the cheese on them, they're going to be so nice and cheesy. And look at that's way more than enough sauce. See, like I said, we don't even really need it. Reserve this little bit or use it, but like I said, it's up to you. They're going to be delicious. They're going to bake for about 20 minutes, maybe not even that long, 15 minutes. My oven is it's a new oven, so I think it works extra good. I'm used to the old oven where it took a little bit longer to cook, but this one cooks fast. Like I said, I can cook things that I used to make 30-minute cook time. They're done in like 17 minutes. I just put a ton of cheese on them. That's enough. I'm not wanting to over cheese too much, but this is how my wonderful enchiladas look. You're going to enjoy them. I'm going to get them in the oven. I've had the oven heating on 350 for about 30 minutes. Okay, we'll be back in 30 minutes or sooner. Welcome back. It's been 30 minutes. Enchiladas look great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to plate my enchilada. I have some good ground beef enchiladas today. Now remember, you can make any kind of enchiladas you would like. And they look good. They smell delicious. I'm going to go ahead. And I always tell you guys I make extra beans, extra rice. I call them prep days. So this is how I would serve my dinner. And the one thing beautiful about my dinner is that it really didn't take that long to cook. Basically, the enchilada sauce, if you pre-make the enchilada sauce, freeze it, or if you make it fresh that day, it's good. But otherwise, it doesn't take much time at all. My beans and rice, I made them and froze them, vacuum sealed them. So we have some white rice, we have some black beans with our beautiful enchiladas. I am going to take a bite of the enchilada. You're gonna love it. It's not very spicy. I mean, it's spicy, don't get me wrong, but it is beautifully spiced. It's not too heavy. It tastes delicious. And like I said, beans and rice would calm that effect a little bit more. Now, if you'd like, you can always make more sauce, and then you could also drizzle it over. Boy, the enchilada sauce, I get the chipotle, I get the chili powder, I get the California powder, I get the ground beef, the cheese, and I even get the tortilla. It tastes delicious. I encourage you to make this for dinner. It's a good dinner, and it's a relatively inexpensive dinner. It's corn tortillas, cheese, ground beef, and like I said, you make your sauce from scratch. It's really inexpensive. So if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I'd be grateful. Thank you.